Welcome to Wednesday Web Chat. Thank you for joining us today for this version of Wednesday Web Chat, which is all about SAP Business One Automations, powered by Saltbox. We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes after our announcements as usual. As you know, the new SAP Business One user guide, not so new anymore, about a year old, that was updated for version 10, has all the new HANA functionality articulated and updated for many functions in many chapters throughout the solution. It's available from Amazon, of course, and there are other options available at SAP Press. So give them both a try, if you will. Always remember that Vision 33 does have a customer resources center where if you're of a mind to help yourself, you can find many videos, help documents, PDFs, all kinds of things available, resources for SAP Business One. One of those resources available is a Crystal Reports training site. And here you have 8 or so video lessons that'll kind of take you from beginner to intermediate as it relates to being able to edit and create your own Crystal Reports in SAP Business One. It's good for all versions, all the way from version 8.8 and beyond. Also, just some news for you. A few weeks ago, we announced that version 10 feature pack 2208 had been released. That has now been recalled by our total care group. They discovered some issues, so we're kind of rolling back. And just to let you know, our currently recommended version and patch is version 10, feature pack 2202, hotfix number 1, until further notice. I'm not sure if they're going to fix 2208 or if we'll end up skipping that one, but we'll find out. If you do plan to upgrade to version 10 at any point, and we do suggest that, by the way, if you're running 9.3 or earlier, do check in with Total Care. They'll do a little survey with you and make sure that you're not running into any problems that they know about, given your configurations and the latest version. Join me every other week. This broadcast, Wednesday Web Chat, is the other week, and on the every other week, the Connected Enterprise podcast, where we interview people from all across all kinds of business purposes and types of businesses to see how they get through, how they stay connected, and the creative things that we have to look forward to in the future. So today we want to talk a little bit about SAP Business One Automations, powered by Saltbox. And we'll actually be seeing a couple of little short demonstrations. Can't show everything that the new B1 Automations package can do, but we can show a couple out of the 12 or so scenarios that have already been created. So why are automations for SAP Business One important? And why do people try to create automated processes in SAP Business One? Well, one of the first reasons is that there are a lot of repetitive daily tasks that kind of slow you down as a data entry person in whatever department and whatever function you may have. There's a lot of detail that in order for, in-depth reports and other things to work really properly have to be filled in. And it's a real challenge to fill in all of this data all the time. Well, the system can do an awful lot of this repetitive stuff for you automatically with the help of B1 Automations. It'll improve cash flow because we can help you do things faster, like processing invoices. The faster they go out, the faster the cash comes back. So there's lots of places where it improves cash flow because of efficiencies that are brought to the whole system. And of course, it saves time. So one of the complaints that I've heard about Business One for the last 17 years is that it takes a lot of clicks sometime to get things done, especially if you had a background in QuickBooks. It seems like there were a lot of things that sort of just happened with 1 or 2 clicks that in SAP Business One take 8. Now, that's because the audit trail is much more highly enforced in SAP Business One and a lot of modern day accounting applications. So there's no real way around it if you want to do things right and according to generally accepted accounting principles. But we can automate some things that will definitely save some time and reduce clicks. There is, of course, increased efficiency because a lot of these things have to be done manually by individuals. If There are other places you need to go and enter data and kind of fulfill that responsibility of putting all the data in so everything is complete, especially when you like set up a new user or something like that. There's a lot of stuff that needs to get done in order to make that occur properly. It's why many organizations don't allow just anybody to create a new user in the system. That all gets done by a particular individual and is usually controlled pretty heavily by the accounting department as it relates to credit in particular. So it can definitely increase efficiencies, by creating these automated processes. One of the most important is that it eliminates costly mistakes. It's easy to make a mistake with data entry, even to choose the wrong thing in a drop-down list that can have significant impact on reporting and analysis and the way we treat customers and vendors and all kinds of things. So costly mistakes, errors, being reduced will save time and save money. I think one of the most important differentiators between this approach to automations in SAP Business One and other available approaches, if today, for instance, you are using Boyum's usability pack, you've always had the ability with Boyum to kind of create an additional button on the screen to sort of initiate some of these automations to take place. But you still have to remember to press the button. And it's surprising how often users in the middle of, a stressful situation, when it's very busy, forget to press that additional button to make certain things happen. Whether that's a credit approval, starting off of an approval process or anything of that nature, have to remember to hit that button. With Business One Automations powered by Saltbox from Vision 33, nobody has to hit a button. It just happens in the background automatically, and it doesn't impact the system's performance in any way, which a lot of Boyum buttons, because they're not necessarily written properly, sometimes will do. And the system will slow down while those processes are happening in the background. They also happen, by the way, on the local workstation, whereas B1 automations all happen on the server. So it doesn't impact the performance of the local workstation. And of course, human intervention is not required. So you're freeing up, your data entry resources to do things that really need to get done. And they're not worrying about all of the detail. They're taking care of the largest part of the task, and the things that are just details to take care of are occurring in the background, important though they are. So there's a number of automations that have already been created for the B1 Automations package available with Saltbox. And so I'm going to read through some of them and talk about them briefly before we see a couple of examples today. So one of them is to create subassembly work orders automatically. As you may know, in Business One, when a production order is created, it can have subassemblies, but they have to be created manually. Other than running MRP, there is no way to automatically create those subassemblies in the background. So if you do need to create a production order and it has subassemblies, this little application kind of sits in the background and says to itself, if a subassembly is created, or if a production order is created and it has subassemblies, create them now, right? So it just does it automatically immediately as the production order is created. So that can be very helpful. A lot of people have discovered that they end up having runouts of these subassemblies because they didn't create them at the time the production order was created. We can change the status of work orders automatically when they meet certain conditions. We can calculate, this is, I think, a really helpful one, the minimum and maximum inventory levels automatically. Can take a look at past sales and requirements and update the minimum and maximum requirements in the inventory settings automatically. Why is this important? Because certain things in the system, for instance, MRP, do not work effectively unless minimum and maximum amounts have been entered for inventory items. And if you have 5,000 inventory items, or 50,000, I'm so sorry, that is a lot of manual labor to go through and set each one of those in a manual manner. This can do it automatically, and you can run it periodically, of course, to make it happen in a much more automated way and make your inventory reporting and requirements analysis much more accurate. Deferred revenue and raising recurring invoice for service contracts automatically. So on some kind of a schedule or on some kind of a milestone basis, the automation can simply create these recurring invoices for deferred revenue on service contracts automatically. So this can reduce a lot of work and make sure that nothing gets missed when it's supposed to occur. We can create AR invoices for open delivery notes automatically. So as your shipping department sends out products and creates delivery notes, automatically in the background, the AR invoice can be created so that no one has to go in, kind of get a list of open deliveries and, copy each one of them, one at a time to AR invoices, or even run the document wizard, which can, create AR invoices from delivery notes automatically also. But again, somebody's got to run it. This way, they just happen in the background without anyone having to touch it. We can create supplier self-invoices for consignment inventory automatically. We can create liability accruals automatically for non-inventory and service good receipts purchase orders, GRPOs, some people call them, right? And we can put customers on hold automatically when payments are overdue, right? So rather than someone having to review that and get a list of all customers where payments are overdue, right? Run an aging report and then one by one go into the customer records, put them on hold. This routine automatically in the background will do the analysis and do all the updates for you automatically. Some others that are available, we can create pick notes for open orders automatically. So rather than having someone, it depends on your process. Some people use pick and pack. Some people do each sales order individually. So depending on your process, these picking notes can be created automatically for every sales order that's processed in the system as it occurs. So no one has to do it manually. We also have the ability to create back-to-back orders automatically. This can prevent fulfillment delays and missed orders. So there would necessarily be some criteria about these back-to-back orders, but that's exactly what it would do, is prevent someone from having to check all the criteria. It would do it for you. And we can create follow-up reminders for sales quotes automatically. So if you were to say, for instance, you know what, 15 days after a sales quotation is created, I'd like to schedule a follow-up phone call to the prospective customer for the assigned sales representative on their calendar, right? So all of that can happen automatically for them. And of course, reference the initial quote and the customer and all of the data that the salesperson would need to do that job effectively. And we can create opportunities from sales quotes automatically. This is an example that will be shown, right? So we'll see more of that one. We can terminate service contracts automatically when they reach their end date. So again, these are just all details in the system that they're available there to be set. But how do you know that a service contract has reached its end date? Somebody's got to be watching it or have a report or a query or something. And instead, this function can just do it automatically. We can create AR invoices for open delivery notes automatically when a service call closes, right? So even though the delivery note is open, if the service call has been closed, then we can close all those documents and automatically create any relevant AR invoices. And I want you to know that those are just the ones that we've created thus far. There's really no limit to how many of these you can create. So you can create your own automations to do something that you need to be done in your system for your business the way it runs. So you can customize additional automations very easily. It's really just a query in SAP Business One that the system is executing and operating automatically for you. And Saltbox is the engine that powers that and makes it happen. So I've got a couple of examples. The first one is one that we've talked about right at the top of our list, which is the auto creation of subassembly production orders in SAP Business One. So let's play this little video example for you. Welcome to Automations for SAP Business One. This video will demonstrate how to auto create subassembly production orders in SAP Business One. The problem in this case is that SAP Business One does not automatically create subassembly production orders. So customers are creating subassembly orders manually. Manual data entry leads to, as we all know, mistakes, process bottlenecks, production delays, slower order to cash processes, and to customer dissatisfaction. The solution is automations for SAP Business One powered by Saltbox. This will increase efficiency, accuracy, productivity, and add to your operational scale. It will eliminate error-prone manual data entry. It will allow you to use staff for other important work and tasks. It can increase customer satisfaction because of on-time production and on-time delivery, and it will certainly improve cash flow. What's the process? Well, first off, as you create a production order in SAP Business One, in the background, an automated Saltbox workflow checks all new production orders, and it asks the question, are subassemblies required? And if the answer is yes, then subassembly production orders are created automatically. In our video example here, we have a production order that we're going to add to SAP Business One. Note that two of the items in the production order are themselves production orders or sub-assemblies. Those have not been added to the system. We're just looking at their bills of material. So we're going to add this production order to the system, and in the background, Saltbox normally runs in the background, but we're going to be showing it to you manually. Here's the production order that's been added. So now you can notice that those items are there, but those subassemblies have not been created. Saltbox running in the background. We're showing it manually so you can see the results here today. And switching back to SAP Business One, now that Saltbox has done its work, we can take a look at the next two production orders that have been created, and they are the subassemblies associated with our parent production order. So they've been created automatically in the background without manual intervention. Thank you for watching Automations for SAP Business One. So that was our first example. And our second example that we've created a video for, and we will be creating little videos like these. I call them video vignettes. They're short for all of the others over time. So keep watching, and we'll have those available on our website, of course, for you to see in the future, so you can continue to kind of follow these examples. If you want to see them, if you're interested, we can always arrange, personalized demos to take care of those. This next example is the auto creation of opportunities from sales quotations in SAP Business One. But one of the problem with opportunity reports is that people create a lot of quotations in SAP Business One, but they don't create the accompanying opportunity. So sales forecasting and things like that can get out of sync. You've got all these quotes, all this possible business, but it's not in your opportunities report. So this creates them automatically, which kind of keeps quotations and opportunities in total sync along the way. Welcome to Automations for SAP Business One, powered by Saltbox. This video is about auto creation of opportunities from sales quotations in SAP Business One. The problem is that in SAP Business One, pipeline reports are rarely adopted because the underlying data is not captured or maintained. Companies instead rely on spreadsheets or custom reports to track pipeline. Pipeline maintenance is time-consuming, custom reports are expensive, and manual reporting is error-prone. The solution is automations for SAP Business One, powered by Saltbox. It will improve pipeline visibility, accuracy, and sales forecasting. We can leverage pre-built opportunity reports in SAP Business One, quickly perform win-loss analysis, reduce pipeline maintenance, and even increase operational efficiencies. The automation process. First, as a quote is created in SAP Business One, Saltbox will auto-generate an opportunity and link it to the quotation. Quotation revisions will be automatically reflected in the linked opportunity. Opportunity status changes to won or lost happens when a quote is closed. When a quote is closed with an order, meaning it's won, the opportunity is updated to won. When the quote is closed without a sales order being created, it is lost, and the opportunity is updated as lost. In our example in SAP Business One, we have two sales quotations, one that has already been added to the system and one that we're about to add for the first time. One of these quotations already has an opportunity associated with it. It's the one for Maxitech. It's telling us that our business partner is inactive, so we'll change that in order to make changes to the quotation. And now we can add the sales order to the system. Excuse me, we've added the sales quotation to the system. Both of our quotations have now been added to the system. We'll retrieve them so that we can continue to look at them. Notice the numbers and the details on each one of them. Notice that the Maxitech opportunity had been slightly updated. That's because as Saltbox here is running in the background normally, we're showing it to you manually so you can get a perspective on what it does. You'll see the results page here of all the things that it's found and executed in the background. I'll go back to Business One, take a look at our two sales quotations again, and notice that for each of them now, there is an opportunity created in SAP Business One, and that all the data in the opportunity matches the total of all the individual lines in the sales quotations. Now we'll update these individual sales quotations. First of all, we'll take one of them and copy it to a sales order. We need a delivery date. Let's update that first, and then we'll add it one more time, and this time we'll be successful. In the other sales quotation, we're going to close it because the customer has decided not to purchase. Back to Saltbox again to, in the background, update the opportunities that it has created, now still associated with the sales quotations. Results page will appear when it's finished its work, again, normally in the background. There's our results page, and all the different actions it's taken. Back to SAP Business One. We'll take a look at our documents again, refreshing all of them. Notice that this sales quotation for Maxitech has been closed and that the opportunity has been won for Maxitech because a sales order was created. Looking at our other sales quotation, you'll notice that its associated opportunity has been lost. There you see it. because we closed this sales quotation without a sales order being processed. That's our automation for SAP Business One, powered by Saltbox. Thank you for watching. So those are our two examples that we wanted to share with you today about automations for SAP Business One, powered by our Saltbox solution. And if you have questions about these, of course, I'd love to answer them. I don't see any questions today that are here, but if you're interested in this solution, believe it can be of value to your business, please let someone at Vision 33 know. Reach out to your customer relationship manager. They'll be glad to follow up with you and get you more information. I want to thank you for joining us for this session of Wednesday Web Chat, and look forward to you joining us again on the next episode of Wednesday Web Chat.